What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Big Fight Fuel channel, where we speak the truth, we're honest, we give our takes on AEW. It is Wednesday night, February 14th, 2024. And this is your AEW Dynamite review. All things professional wrestling we're talking tonight. Another thumbs up show, in my opinion. Another thumbs up show for Dynamite. They were coming off their best Dynamite of the year last week in Phoenix, and this week they followed it up with a very, very good show in Austin, Texas tonight. I thought tonight's Dynamite was very good. We got 7 matches, I think. About 7 matches confirmed now for the Revolution pay-per-view, which is only 3 weeks away, which, 2.5 if you really want to think about it. But, which is, I absolutely love to see it, man. And I'm very excited for this pay-per-view. We're going to talk about this card later on when I go over, the match rundowns and stuff like that. But tonight, very good. In-ring wrestling was very good. Storytelling was very good, even though people want to say AEW tells no stories. The stories aren't good enough, which absolutely baffles my mind. It's not even worth talking about it anymore. People just live in their agendas now, and it is what it is. I'm not going to bother with it because I'm not going to let their agendas bother my time watching wrestling. I've moved past that. I'm not going to get caught up in this negativity when it comes to wrestling. I'm here to have a good time and to enjoy the sport that I love, which is professional wrestling. And no one is going to ruin it for me. I will criticize it when I decide to criticize it, not because a majority of the audience is upset over it. I choose when I want to criticize something. But wrestling was good. Storytelling was good. The in-ring segment with Hangman Adam Page, Swerve, and Samoa Joe was incredible. Samoa Joe absolutely killed it tonight. We're going to talk about that. Young Bucks versus Sting and Darby Allin is made official for Revolution for the tag team titles. And we got so much more. We got questions about the TNT Championship, which we are going to talk about, and all that. So, thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. And before we get into anything Dynamite related, more important news, terrible news, may I add. Today was the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade in Kansas City. And today was supposed to be a day where fans in Kansas City and people in Kansas City are supposed to celebrate their team winning another championship. Back-to-back Super Bowls. That's impressive. Today was supposed to be a day for celebration. And instead, it ended in tragic and a nightmare. And now we're questioning if it's even safe to go to championship parades, which shouldn't be that way. People should want to go out and celebrate their team winning a championship. And now we got these morons who decide to run around this country with guns and shoot people. It's disgusting. It really is. So, I just want to get that off my chest, man. I don't know when shit's going to change, but I'm praying. I am praying for the people in Kansas City tonight, and you guys should as well. So, thoughts and prayers goes out to everybody in Kansas City who dealt with the shooting today at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. So, want to get that off my chest. Thoughts and prayers, everybody in Kansas City. Very, very upsetting moment. setting day, which was supposed to be a day of celebration. Young children look up to these players and want to have an experience of a lifetime. And instead, these children are injured. And these children are injured. And I don't even have the words that I want to muster out just because I'm just heartbroken by this situation. So, thoughts and prayers, everybody in Kansas City. Let's get on with this Dynamite show. I know it's a hard transition to talk about something so serious and something so tragic, like a shooting happening in Kansas City. Then the transition into talking about a pro wrestling show. But we're going to try our best, and I'm going to give you the best show possible. So, Dynamite, Austin, Texas, on Valentine's Day, opened up with Jon Moxley taking on Dax Hardwood, and a feud between the Blackpool Combat Club and FTR has, I guess you could say, has started when the Blackpool Combat Club once again got another win over CMLL. And breaking news about that, the Blackpool Combat Club is going to Mexico to wrestle the CMLL once again on March 29th. So for any of you Mexico CMLL wrestling fans, you have that show to look forward to on March 29th. The Blackpool Combat Club going to Mexico to wrestle. But Moxley and Dax Hardwood, Blackpool Combat Club, called out any team in AEW to step up to them because they are the real alpha dogs in AEW. FTR stepped up, and there was a huge brawl Saturday night, and it led to this match between Jon Moxley and Dax Hardwood. And for all you simple-minded folks and folks who don't want to pay attention to the show, the story between the Blackpool Combat Club and FTR is the Blackpool Combat Club is trying to prove once again that they're the baddest mother effers in AEW. Even more tougher than a team like FTR, who's a very tough tag team, probably one of, if not the best tag team in AEW. So this match with Moxley and Dax Hardwood was very hard hitting. This was really, really good. I don't remember a time where Justin Roberts was counting down to the end of the match with like 5 minutes remaining, 3 minutes remaining, and then the match doesn't end in a draw. They had me thinking a little bit that this was going to end in a draw, but Moxley made Dax Hardwood tap out at the end of the match with the Bulldog choke, or it was a sleeper hold, I think it was. Yeah, it was a sleeper. Dax tapped out, and Moxley wanted to let go. So this brings Cash Wheeler, which then brings Claudio Castagnoli, and a huge brawl started out between FTR and the Blackpool Combat Club, which had the Blackpool Combat Club standing at the end tall over FTR. And surprisingly enough, we are getting this match next week on Dynamite. We're not saving this for Revolution. Maybe we get a different match. Maybe we get a stipulation, like false count anywhere or something. I don't know. But we're getting right to it. We're getting these two teams going at it next week in Tulsa. And that's a match that should be fantastic. A normal tag team match between those two teams could steal any pay-per-view. Now you're going to give it to us on free television. Blackpool Combat Club, FTR. I'm here for it, man. Great match between Dax and Moxley tonight. Very hard hitting. And Moxley got the win at the end of this match. Renee, we then transitioned to backstage where Renee was with the Don Callis family, and Don Callis is talking about Takeshita's big win over Chris Jericho last week, and how Jericho is no longer in the worry of the Don Callis family. We'll see about that. But then he talked about Takeshita being one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he's got a bunch of dogs in the Don Callis family. Takeshita, Powerhouse Hobbs, but we are going to test Takeshita inside the family when we put him up one-on-one against Will Ospreay at Revolution to see who is the best wrestler in the Don Callis family. This match is going to be awesome. I am very excited to see Will Ospreay in AEW. He just finished up with New Japan Pro Wrestling this past weekend. He is done with New Japan. He's on his way to AEW, and with getting him against Takeshita at Revolution, I didn't know how they were going to do this, but Don Callis is saying that this is a win for the Don Callis family no matter what. I'm thinking this could be a way to get Will Ospreay away from the Don Callis family, because he is better than that. And the Don Callis family really hasn't been taken serious ever since, unfortunately, Kenny Omega went down with diverticulitis. So breaking away Ospreay from the Don Callis family is what the end goal needs to be here. But the match at the pay-per-view is going to be fantastic. Ospreay and Takeshita. Takeshita is one of the best young wrestlers in the world. Ospreay is probably the best wrestler in the world, if you would ask me. I would tell you Will Ospreay is the best in the world. Their match is going to be incredible at Revolution. I'm very much looking forward to it. Wardlow had another squash match. Don't really know what the point of this one was, just to get another win for Wardlow. But I am happy to see Wardlow back in healthy, because a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, he injured his knee in that match. He was wrestling Commander, and he injured his knee on the powerbomb. I'm very happy to see him back in the ring. Very quick match, very quick work for Wardlow tonight. Don't know why we needed it, but I'm happy to see him healthy. That's important. Then we go into Adam Copeland against Daniel Garcia, which was the match I thought was going to main event the show. And at the end of the show, I thought the main event should have been the Young Bucks against Top Flight with the angle that happened after the match. But the main event was Orange Cassidy against Matt Taven. The match was awesome, but I probably would have had the Young Bucks in the main event with the closing angle of that match. But here, we got Copeland and Daniel Garcia. Garcia, after defeating Nick Wayne, he pinned Nick Wayne a couple weeks ago on Collision. And Garcia and FTR defeated the Patriarchy, and Garcia stared down Christian Cage at the end of this match. At the end of that match, wanting a shot at the TNT Championship. Mind you, Garcia has not lost the match since he wrestled Swerve, I believe, in the first Dynamite of this year. So he's been winning matches. He's racking up wins as much as possible. And Adam Copeland, he's been undefeated too, since he lost at World's End. So this match came about this past Saturday on Collision. Led to a match tonight, and good match. But coming out of this, we have more questions than we do answers. So Cope was going for the spear to put away Daniel Garcia. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus come down. And they attack Copeland. They attack Daniel Garcia. Luchasaurus choke slams. choke slams Garcia. Christian Cage comes down with Mama Wayne, and Mama Wayne has just been, she has little, I don't even know how much she knew going into this, but I feel like the addition of her in this faction has made this group better. I don't know how, but I feel like they've gotten more heat on them since she's joined the group. And as you guys realized, she wore a turtleneck tonight. So now, not only is Christian wearing the turtleneck, Christian got her to wear the turtleneck. That's hilarious, bro. That's absolutely hilarious. So they're looking to hit Concerto on Garcia. Well, first off, Christian gets the chairs, and Daddy Magic grabs one of them, and Luchasaurus clubs Daddy Magic in the back of the head. Then Christian goes in the ring, puts the chair under Garcia. He's about to hit Concerto. Copeland comes in and saves him. Then they take out Garcia, and now they focus on Copeland. Nick Wayne hit Wayne's World. Luchasaurus hit the clothesline in the back of the head, and they Concerto Adam Copeland. And that's the big question, because he got hit in the back of the head with a steel chair. So what does this mean? Is he going to recover from this Concerto in a week and he's going to be fine for the pay-per-view? I don't think that makes sense. So what's the solution here? Garcia was not taken out. Garcia was helping Copeland get to the back. He's going to have to be off a couple weeks on television to sell this Concerto. So he's not going to take part of the pay-per-view. Are we getting Garcia going after the TNT Championship this early? I thought they would drag it out longer and Copeland was going to win this match to get a third match. This might be a change of plans from Tony Khan, because we thought for sure coming out of World's End, once Christian cashed in that Luchasaurus contract that Luchasaurus won, that we were certainly going to get a third match at Revolution. Now they kind of pivoted because Danny Garcia is hot. The crowd is loving him. You might want to capitalize on this momentum right now that he has. So were we about to see Danny Garcia versus Christian Cage for the TNT Championship at Revolution? I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, they're telling a story here. You guys just don't fucking pay attention. They're telling a great story with Daniel Garcia. So we go from that, and Samoa Joe comes out. This was my favorite thing on the entire show tonight. Hour 2 of Dynamite ends with this segment. Samoa Joe comes out, and he says, ever since I've been the world champion, we've made it a focus to have the top in-ring performers, highest ranked, to face me for the world championship. And everything was going so smoothly until last week, with the match between Swerve and Hangman ending in a draw. And he talked about how neither of those guys deserve a shot at the world title after last week. And now he's got to deal with both of them. But he wants everybody to know that he wants everybody to know that even though he doesn't feel like it's right, he's going to beat both their asses. He said both of them are going to be walking into the match on 2 legs, but I guarantee you, either one or both of them are going to be limping coming out of the triple threat match at Revolution. And he's still going to be the AEW World Championship. So then Swerve comes out. Swerve comes out, and Swerve comes out, and he says, I feel like you haven't been respecting my resume. My resume just hasn't been here in AEW. I've been grinding in my entire career for 15 years. And I've been waiting for someone to tell me, you know what? Maybe Swerve one day is going to get on top of the industry, and he's going to be the one taking the rocket ship. He's going to be the one with the rocket ship. And he says, then he came to AEW, and he's faced the best of the best. He's faced the best wrestlers in the world. He's faced former world champions, and he's beaten legends in AEW. So this opportunity hasn't come overnight. I've busted my ass for this opportunity for 15 years, and I will be damned if I don't get respect put on my name because of it. So Swerve is very fired up. His story was, look, I've been busting my ass, facing the best wrestlers in the world since I came to AEW. I just haven't been doing this for a couple of weeks. This has been me grinding for years and years and years to get to the position that I'm in right now, just to get respect on my name. And then Hangman comes out. And Hangman comes out to a chorus of boos. And the story with Hangman is, he's absolutely obsessed with Swerve. He's lost it. And the main story with Hangman is, this is my opinion, Hangman doesn't care about the World Championship. It's secondary to him. As long as Swerve is not the World Champion, that's okay with him if he's not the World Champion. But just as long as Swerve Strickland is not the World Champion. So Hangman comes out, and he says that, after last week, I wasn't mad. So for all you people that do your reviews and say, oh, I was pissed, I was not pissed. I was one of them who said, oh, Hangman's pissed. Hangman was mad when it was made a triple threat. He said, but we shouldn't be in this position. So this is more whining and bitching from Hangman. He said, this match should be between two people who find prestige in that world championship and who respect that world championship. That being him versus Samoa Joe. And Hangman starts talking about Swerve. He says, you don't deserve my attention after everything we've been through. You don't deserve a second of my attention. You're a nobody. You will never be the AEW World Champion. And the double turn has been done beautifully. The crowd is booing Hangman. Swerve feels kind of like an underdog, even though he hasn't been losing a lot. But they told a really good story with Swerve. The fans want Swerve. The AEW fans want Swerve to be the world champion. Hangman is obsessed. So Hangman is going to town. He's calling Swerve all these names, and Samoa Joe breaks it up. He says, I know exactly what you guys are doing. You think you're going to beat your boy over there and hoist up this world championship? Ain't going to happen. You think you're just going to pin him and not pin me at Revolution for the world championship? Ain't going to happen. I'll tell you what is going to happen. I'm going to whoop both your asses at Revolution because I am Samoa Joe, and I am proud to be your AEW World Champion. And still, at Revolution, I'm going to whoop both your asses. Throws down the microphone and walks out. Oh my God. Woo! That was fire, bro. That was fire. That might have been my favorite promo segment of the entire year, besides the segment we got on Monday. We got two excellent promo segments this week with Cody and Seth on Monday and Hangman, Swerve, and Joe on tonight's show. Which, by the way, we're probably going to be talking about that segment on Friday. If anything big happens with Roman and The Rock. But I digress. But I'm scrolling through Dynamite and I see a tweet pop up, and this just doesn't make sense at all. I'm not going to say who it was. I don't want to throw out names, but he said Hangman really has no legs to stand on here. Swerve beat him twice. I don't think anyone thinks Hangman Page truly belongs in the AEW World Title match, but I get it. It's just stupid to glance over the two wins as if they aren't enough. I mean, how ignorant can you be with that tweet? Ever since he lost, he's built himself back up. He's gotten wins over other guys. He's been undefeated this entire year. He hasn't lost a match. And then we get to Swerve. Both Swerve and Hangman haven't lost the match this year. We get the tie. We get the triple threat. That revolution. We all knew this was coming. But it's just stupid to glance. But he says, but I get it. It's just stupid to glance over the two wins. Brother, we know Swerve beat Hangman twice. But what you're failing to realize is that Hangman has built himself up. And that's why, as stupid as they are, that's why these rankings are back. So, that segment was incredible. We go to Young Bucks against Top Flight. The story was after the match. Young Bucks, I mean, everything about them. Everything about these guys have been great so far. Fantastic. Between still the bloody stained suits that they have, you guys realize the look they got? They're mocking Sting with the little patch of facial hair right down the middle right here. Love it, man. They got new theme music. They got the ring attire is suits. They're called. They're really sticking with the executive vice presidents, Matthew and Nicholas, the Young Bucks. It's fantastic, man. This is probably my favorite thing going on in AEW right now. Is what is going on between the Young Bucks, Sting, and Darby Allin. So, the Young Bucks, they beat Top Flight. They cheated to beat Top Flight. But then afterwards, Tony gets in the ring to interview the Young Bucks. And they're going over the win over the Top Flight and talk about how they should be number one contenders for the tag team titles. They only beat Top Flight. But this is the EVPs politicking their way to the top to get their tag team title match at the pay-per-view. Then Tony says, well, what about last week, that vicious, despicable attack on Sting and Darby Allin? And Matt Jackson says, you said a lot of bad things about your EVPs on commentary. I think that should be a punishment. And Nick Jackson gets on the microphone and he says that's going to be a $1,000 fine for the way you talk about your EVPs on commentary. And Tony is talking back at Nick Jackson, and he's saying some things to him, and Nick Jackson pushes him to the ground. I'm sorry, I should say Nicholas. Nicholas pushes him to the ground. And Matthew gets on the microphone and he says, whoa, I'm sorry. My brother's a bit of a hothead, which is what they've been going with for the past couple of weeks. And he says, let me help you up. So they help up Tony Schiavone, and they got him in position for the EVP trigger. And commentators are like, oh no, they're not going to do this, are they? And then Darby comes out, and Darby chases away the Young Bucks with the baseball bat. And he says, you guys really want this? You've made this extremely personal between me and Sting and you guys. And he says, I want to fast track back to 5 years ago. 5 years ago, actually, I'm going to pull up the tweet because I don't want to mess it up. He says, well, first off, he says this. He says, fast track to 5 years ago. You know, when I was homeless and AEW first started, I begged you guys for a job, and you saw nothing in me. Yet I had to sit by and watch all your friends get hired, your little California crew. Thank God at the time there was an EVP here with a sense of brains, and I am not talking about Kenny Omega. And the crowd broke out into the Cody chants. And again, I love that he brought up Cody. Why do I love that? Because Cody was a foundation. Cody was an important piece to the start of AEW. Meanwhile, a certain somebody thinks this is bad for AEW, bringing up Cody in this storyline. Oh, look at Darby Allin mentioning one of the main eventers of WrestleMania. Bro, it's actually good that he mentioned Cody here because Cody was an important piece to the start of AEW. So that line was great by Darby Allin. Then he says this. He says, let's talk about an interview you guys did 5 months ago. You guys said that you resigned because the travel schedule was light. The money was good. It was no longer about changing the world. The original mission statement was dead. I thought this was all elite wrestling because it looks like this is all friendship wrestling. You know why? Think about the very first episode of Dynamite. Darby Allin wasn't on it. You know who was? Brandon Cutler. What the? And then he paused himself. And then he says, be careful what you wish for. You want me and Sting at Revolution, you got it. So, it's official. Young Bucks challenging Sting and Darby Allin for the Tag Team Championships at Revolution. And we are getting it in a tornado match. We're getting it in a tornado tag team match. And that shows to me that I'm guessing this tornado style is what best fits for Sting, which I have absolutely no problem with. It's what he wants to go out with. It should main event the show. I think this is going to main event the show, and I think it should. We'll go through these final 2 matches here. Sky Blue versus Willow Nightingale. Fine match. Stokely Hathaway helped Willow Nightingale get the win with a distraction. So Willow Nightingale beat Sky Blue. Didn't really care. I feel like I've seen a bunch. I feel like I've seen them in matches a bunch with each other, just in different combinations. Tonight they got a singles match against each other, and Willow picked up the win. So that was that. Revolution on March 3rd. This is your lineup as of right now. AEW World Championship, Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe. AEW Women's Championship, Deonna Purrazzo versus Toni Storm. AEW International Championship, Roderick Strong versus Orange Cassidy. AEW Tag Team Championships, Tornado Tag Team match, the Young Bucks challenging Sting and Darby Allin. AEW Continental Championship, Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston. And tonight, Will Ospreay versus Konosuke Takeshita was made official. The main event of this show was Orange Cassidy against Matt Taven in a Texas death match. When this was announced yesterday, I didn't know why this needed to be a Texas death match. I didn't know why this was the main event of the show, and it would not have made it the main event of the show. I would have personally closed with the Young Bucks versus Top Flight, with the segment with Darby ending the show, a hot angle between the Young Bucks and Darby Allin to end the show. Tony Khan went with this. So, the match was awesome. Just going to put it that way. The match was awesome. Things picked up when we got back from commercial. So, when we got back from commercial, Orange Cassidy was laid out on a table. Matt Taven went for an elbow drop. The table did not go through. Orange Cassidy did not go through the table. The table cracked, but it did not go through. Another situation of I am the table. You can't go through me. So Matt Taven sets up the table. Kind of like on the stage, and he suplexes Orange Cassidy on the stage, or through the table. Then he puts him up on the stage, and you could see blood pouring down his face. I believe it was on this side. He's got blood all coming down his face. They're then fighting in the ring. Matt Taven, he hits the move in the ring on Orange Cassidy. Matt Taven then sets up a table outside the ring, and he's got one leg of it on the announce table. And Orange Cassidy, he was thrown outside. Matt Taven hit a drop kick, and Orange Cassidy was aware he didn't go through the table. This was the craziest spot of the whole match. Matt Taven then jumps over the top rope, and he goes flying through this table, man. And when I saw that spot, I immediately stood up from my couch and was like, my goodness, that was crazy. That spot was crazy. That was the craziest spot of the entire match. Then Orange Cassidy has a Valentine's Day box from Chuck Taylor, and inside that box is a box of thumbtacks. So he lays out the thumbtacks. He's looking to suplex Taven onto the thumbtacks. Taven pushes him. Orange Cassidy kind of got a bad angle on it. Landed it in the thumbtacks. Taven hit the frog splash, and he landed in the thumbtacks. Then Orange Cassidy goes, and he grabs a chain. And at this point, Mike Bennett comes out. And Mike Bennett is coming in, and he lays out Orange Cassidy. He's bringing in all these chairs. He's bringing in about 5 chairs to help Taven. Trent then comes down to the ring. He takes out Bennett. Matt Taven then attacks him, and Matt Taven, I believe, hit a brainbuster onto Trent on the chair. I can't remember what it was exactly. But then Orange Cassidy then hit Beach Break on top of the chairs and the thumbtacks on the Matt Taven. Roderick Strong came down, and when Orange saw Roderick Strong, Orange hit the Orange Punch on the Taven with chain wrapped around his fist, and that's how the match ended. Orange Cassidy won this Texas Death Match, and the match was awesome. It was a really awesome match. fun stuff. And, yeah, I probably would have closed with this match, but it was an awesome match. And the sooner we get this title off of Orange Cassidy, the better, because it's been forever since he's been in this. It's been too long. And he's been in this international title picture. So, that's your Dynamite review for you. Very good show tonight. Very much looking forward to next week. We got 6 matches confirmed for Revolution, and I think it's looking like a hell of a pay-per-view for AEW. I'm going to get out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Fuel channel. I will be back with you for a video this coming Friday, probably. If anything important happens with Roman Reigns and The Rock, I'll probably do a video on Friday night. If not, I'm considering taking the weekend off. I'm not sure yet. Might even drop a Sixers video. Who knows? I think daily. So, subscribe. Comment down below. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me. Follow me on Twitter. Colin_Joseph. I'm out. Peace. I am out.